Hello everyone. In this class, we'll be studying about the continuation of the cell. In the previous class, we have already studied the cell, types of cells, including eukaryotic, prokaryotic, and then we also studied about only an introduction of plant cell and animal cell. In this class, we'll be taking up plant cell and animal cell in detail. But before that, let me give you a brief introduction. In the previous class, we studied about the cell. As we all know, that cell was discovered by Robert Hooke, and a group of cells is called as a tissue. Now, coming to the classification of cell, we studied that a cell can either be a prokaryotic cell. What is a prokaryotic cell? A prokaryotic cell is a cell that has not evolved much since its origin, and these cells are usually found in the bacteria. These are the simplest forms of cells. The another type of cell that we studied was a eukaryotic cell. Now, what are the eukaryotic cells? Eukaryotic cells are the new or the evolved cells. The cells that evolved with time, and because of that, they developed multiple structures and functions different than the prokaryotic cells. A eukaryotic cell can be further divided either into an animal cell or it can be divided into a plant cell. Now, when we compare and contrast the animal and plant cell, these cells are approximately similar. Around 80% they are similar to each other, but there are some major differences between these two types of cells. So in today's class, we'll be first studying about the animal cell, then about the plant cell, and then we'll compare and contrast the similarities and differences between the two. So first of all, let's start with the animal cell. Okay, now what is an animal cell? An animal cell is the cell that is present in all the animal kingdom, including humans or pisces, reptiles, birds. All these cells are called as the animal cells. So let me show you a picture of an animal cell. Here we have. So this is how a basic animal cell looks like. As we can see, the first thing, the first membrane that is surrounding this cell from the outer environment is called as the plasma membrane. So what is a plasma membrane? It's a membrane that will provide rigidity to the cell, it will provide structure and anchorage to the cell, and along with that, it will separate the internal organelles of the cell from the outside environment. Then the second organelle we have is the mitochondria. It's a very important organelle because it is called as the powerhouse of the cell. So all the energy that is used up in the cell is actually derived from the mitochondria. These are called as the ATP houses or the powerhouse of the cells. Then we have these Golgi apparatus. If you can see, this Golgi apparatus is actually a sac-like structure. These are sacs that are stacked upon one another. These help in packaging the manufactured proteins in the form of vesicles. Then we have these centrioles. The function of these centrioles, these are basically kinds of microtubules that provide structural strength, and also they provide mechanical strength to the cells, animal cells. We have this nuclear envelope. What is a nuclear envelope? It envelopes all the material that's contained inside the nucleus, because inside the nucleus we have different kinds of organelles, because the main function of the things inside the nucleus is to maintain heredity, is to actually transfer the information from one generation to another. So this nucleus is enclosed inside a separate layer called as the nuclear envelope. Then we have endoplasmic reticulum, which are of two types. The first one, as we can see here, is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. It's called as smooth because endoplasmic reticulum can have ribosomes attached to it. If it has ribosomes attached to it, it is called as a rough endoplasmic reticulum. If it does not have any ribosomes attached to it, like here we can see, this is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Here you can see this is the rough endoplasmic reticulum. It has these proteins that are attached to its surface. Okay, so if it has ribosomes attached to its surface, it is the rough endoplasmic reticulum. But if it has no ribosomes, it is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The main function of endoplasmic reticulum is to increase the surface area of the animal cell. Here we have the lysosomes. What are lysosomes? These are kind of organelles which are called as the suicidal bags of the cell, because they will collect the toxins that are generated from metabolism from all the parts of the cell, or from all the organelles of the cell, and then it will export it out of the cell. We have chromatin. So chromatin are the threads that form DNA, which is the genetic material. We have nucleolus. Nucleolus is the site of protein manufacture. Nucleolus is the largest organelle inside the nucleus. Then we have ribosomes. What are ribosomes? The ribosomes are the structures that are called as the protein factory of the cells. Ribosomes are of two types, as we have already studied. If it is a prokaryotic cell, we have 70s ribosomes. If it's a eukaryotic cell, we have 80s ribosomes. Now, this is the basic structure of an animal cell. All the animal cells will resemble this cell. There might be difference in their size, but most of the organelles, are 90% of the organelles remain the same. Now, coming to the plant cell will have most of the organelles similar, but there are a few differences. There are some organelles that are present in plant cells but not in the animal cells. So now coming to the plant cell, let's see how the plant cell looks like. Here we have the plant cell. So you can see, as the animal cell was round or oval in structure, but the plant cell usually looks like a hexagon. So similar structures that were present in plant cells and animal cells, that we can also find in plant cells, are endoplasmic reticulum. It has the same function. Golgi apparatus. Now, the new organelle that we study here is the chloroplast. What is a chloroplast? It is a kind of plastid which provides color to the plants. The green color present in the plants is because of the presence of this chloroplast, because chloroplast has a pigment called chlorophyll that will help in trapping the sunlight so that photosynthesis can happen and plant can make its own food. Now you can see that there is a big vacuole inside the plant cell. 90% of the plant cell is actually occupied by the vacuole. Now, vacuoles were also present in animal cells, but they were smaller and numerous in number. But in plant cell, we'll have only one vacuole that is located in the center, and it's very big in size. It will take around 90% of the space inside the plant cell. Then we have mitochondria, just like the animal cell. These are also called as the ATP houses or the powerhouses of the cell. We have the cell membrane, also called as the plasma membrane. We have this extra layer, which is called as the cell wall. The cell wall is present only in the plants and not in the animal cell. So this is a major difference between plant and animal cell. We have cytoplasm, which is the basal matrix on which all the organelles are present. We have amyloplasts in plants. What are amyloplasts? These are the starch storing bodies. These organelles will store starch, which is a kind of food for the plants. We have ribosomes, the protein factories. We have peroxisomes. What are peroxisomes? These are the kind of organelles that help in oxidative phosphorylation. Now, oxidative phosphorylation is also present during photosynthesis in the plants. We have nucleolus, we have nucleus. So here we can see that most of the organelles that are present in animal cell are also present in the plant cell, but there are a few organelles which are present in plant cells but not in animal cells. Now, let's compare and contrast these organelles. See, this is the plant and animal cells. These all are the common organelles. Ribosomes, lysosomes. We have nucleus, nucleolus, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulums, vacuoles, peroxisomes. We have Golgi apparatus, cell membrane, and cytoplasm. These are the common structures in both plant and animal cells. But in animal cells, we have extra microtubules that will provide more rigidity and strength to the animal cell structure, and also we have centrioles. But in plant cells, we'll have chloroplast. Chloroplast is present in plant cells for photosynthesis, and it's not required in animal cells. A myeloplast, it helps in the starch storage in plant cells, but is not required in animal cells. And last of all, but the most important one, a plant cell has a prominent cell wall, and animal cell does not have a cell wall. Okay, so next we have again the comparison and difference. Here it's clearly mentioned that animal cells have nucleus, cytoplasm, plasma membrane, Golgi apparatus, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, and ribosomes. But where the difference lies is in the shape. Plant cell will have a fixed shape, animal cells do not have a fixed shape. Cell wall is present in plant cells but not in the animal cells. Plant cells will have large vacuoles and chloroplast, whereas animal cells will have small vacuoles and no chloroplast. Very important point is that the plant cell will have starch as the stored food, and animal cell will have glycogen. Plant cells will not have any centrioles, whereas animal cells have centrioles. So this is the major difference between animal and plant cells. We have similarities as well as the differences. So this is all about the plant and animal cells. In case there is more information you would like us to share with you, or there is any more topic that you need more clarification about, you can always write to us. Your feedback is most welcome. Thank you for watching the video.